This video is not intended for viewers under the age of 13. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello fellow toy junkies, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Retro Destro. Thank you Hasbro for bringing this line to us. I am pretty impressed with what they've given us so far. Articulation on some of the figures is a little lacking, but they still do look amazing. Bring back a lot of nostalgic feelings. But let's take a look at the packaging. Got Destro here on the 1980s style card. Looks really good. Cobra the enemy. He's got a face that actually looks like a person wearing a metal mask, so I think that's kind of cool. Looks pretty good. And to the back there's the rest of the figures in the line. And there is the card. Sorry for the reflection, but looks pretty good. Pause it there if you want to read it, but let's get moving on and get this guy out of the package, see what he has in store for us. Stay tuned. So as normal, we're going to start with the accessories. So he comes with the standard G.I. Joe stand with a Cobra emblem. Looks really good. Then he comes with this, his rifle case. And what is nice about this is every piece of his rifle disassembles and fits into the case. So this is really, really well done. So we'll get these guys out of here and we'll put his rifle together. The rifle comes in 4 pieces. You got the main part of the gun with the barrel and the gun itself. And then you have the stock, which looks really good. Slides right in. Pretty good connection. Then you have the scope, which will slide in the groove on the top. Just like that. And then bipod, which clips right in. So there you have the rifle, nicely detailed, as you can see. Scope looks really good. Now it can sit in there crooked, so you got to be careful. But it is a nice secure fit once you get it in. Nice detail along the stock, sides, grip, everything. Looks really good. Nice long barrel on there. Then a little more detail on the case itself. These actually do come out, so you've got some just molded together for detail, some extra clips, and I believe that would be the shoulder strap, but I'm not certain. It just basically it's held in there with 2 pegs. And then we have the cushion cover, which is nicely detailed, but it looks good. And it does clip closed, so surprisingly nice. It's just a plain on either side. It could have used some sort of a Cobra icon, but it does have the buckles on the front and the handle. But that's about it. So next we'll be taking a look at the character. And here we have Destro himself. And I gotta say, he is an older figure, but he doesn't have 2012 stamped on his feet, just like Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow and Roadblock for that matter. But he definitely feels like an older mold, but he still looks good. So let's get in and take a look at some detail here. Got some nice silver for the paint. and extra painted eyes. You can see his pupils in there. Looks really good. Spiked collar, and then the necklace he always wears. Got some nice beautiful black paint with gold around the belt and the shoulder strap. Coming down, looks really good. Red could have used another coat on his holster, but still looks good. Coming down to the feet, gray boots, done really nice. Nice detail on them, to be honest. Coming up the back, there's that gray strap again. Then his arms, black paint. You've got the silver gauntlets with red grenades on this hand, and his rockets on this hand that everybody is so used to. As far as articulation, head is on a ball, so you've got a little bit up and down, but very limited. And he can go as far as his collar will let him to the side. And just a little bit of attitude, not much. He has ab crunch, forward and back, rotation. Shoulders again are on a disc hinge, so you can get more than straight out, all the way around. You got rotation right above the elbow. It's 90 degrees of bend. Wrists do swivel, and these actually have a disc hinge in the hands, so you can pivot in and out, which is a nice touch. Same for the other side, with the exception of this hand. For some reason, rather than in and out, it's got an up and down pivot. So that's pretty neat. As far as legs go, got your standard G.I. Joe connector there for the legs, but it is limited, so you can go that far up. No back at all, it just comes straight. And then out, you literally are maxed out there, less than 45 degrees. Knee, nice double joint. No swivel in the leg at all. It's fixed on the hip. A little bit of flex here at the knee, but you use that too often, it's going to cause you some difficulty. It's just flexing the kneecap. Then down to the feet, they actually do have ankle pivot up and down, and a tilt. So better in the feet department than Roadblock, but worse in the hips. So again, for modern toys, it feels like a little bit of a step backwards. But being that it is an old mold, I'm not surprised. If you know what line he's from, around what year he came out, let me know in the comments, please. But I really do like this character. He looks really good. And there he is holding his rifle. Now, I for the life of me could not get him to hold the rifle in both hands and still use the stock portion of it. So that's a bit disappointing. But we could still give him a stockless version of a rifle. That's pretty good. Pivoting hands do help somewhat, but with the way that it just pops together and pops apart as soon as you try and get it a good holding or shooting pose, this thing flies right off. So that's a little disappointing, but he still does look good nonetheless. The red collar definitely brings back some memories from the 80s. Overall, I think Hasbro did a pretty good job with this Destro. Paint apps in the arms a little bit sloppy, but they're just so small, I think it would be impossible to get it perfect. That and a little bit more red on the leg should have been done, but I am happy that I have him. So he does look really good. Alright, final thoughts. It is a bit disappointing as far as the lack of articulation in the legs. Just, it seems to hinder the ability to do a pose. The gun coming apart and fitting in the case, although it really is a cool gimmick, it causes issues when trying to pose the gun. I mean, the slightest breeze will knock the stock right off, and it just makes it really difficult. I mean, you have to fix it with some sort of glue, but if you do that, then you can't get it to fit in the case. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I do really like how he's painted. The red collar really brings back some great memories. The silver painted head looks good. Looks like somebody's actually wearing a mask instead of just a, silver face. Somebody painting their skin silver. The articulation in the upper body, I think, is really good, considering he's got that big collar. The lack in the movement in the head really isn't a big surprise. So I'm not going to take away points for that. Overall, I am glad that I have him. I haven't been able to purchase a Destro since the 1980s, with the exception of the classified line. So he looks really good. Is this a recommendation for me? Yes, because I am all in on this line. But if you already have a Destro, you may already have a copy of this mold. Again, if you know which year this came out, what line it came out in, let me know. I'd like to see it in the comments. But if you see him, grab him. That's all I can say. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and get your bell on so you get notified of future content. Thanks for watching. See you again next time.